Hey everyone, welcome back to the Winner's Circle. I'm Derrick.
And I'm Cody.
And it has been a while. It has been a while. We're excited to be here. Don't get too excited. We're not back yet. Big Brother hasn't started up yet. But there was an interesting development over the last couple weeks from our brother or sister country, if you want to call it that, where Big Brother Canada had a big announcement. It's currently underway right now. We're not covering it, but we did want to talk about a topic that's going on. But before we do, Cody, real quick, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing
good, man. We haven't talked in a while either.
I know, bro. It's been a little bit. I'm happy. I'm happy to be back here, bro. It's nice to get on here and actually get to shoot the shit a little bit.
I feel like we're a little rusty. We get the mics. We had to adjust the mics again.
I know. I was talking to my AirPods. Thank God you have the ear. You have the clean ear, and you were like, bro, your audio sounds like shit. So we were able to switch it over to the road.
Yep. So, like riding a bike, though. We got right back to it. Listen, we're going to dive into it. It's not going to be a long episode, but it's a chance for us to say hello, check in on everybody for the holiday season if you're celebrating Easter. But before we do, as always, let's hear a word from this week's sponsor. Manscaped is here with a deal you can't pass over this Easter season. They've got the tools to give you the beautifully decorated eggs of your dreams. Just because it's Easter, it doesn't mean it's okay to hide those bad boys behind all that tall grass. So make sure your downstairs lawn is mowed. Get yourself feeling as sweet as candy by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off plus free shipping with our code WINNERCIRCLE.
Yeah, inside the Ball Care Bunny Basket, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. April is Easter, but it is also Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men ages 15 through 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as a part of their We Save Balls initiative. So make sure when you guys go to manscaped.com and find this product, you guys use the code WINNERCIRCLE to save 20% off and free shipping. Again, that's code WINNERCIRCLE at manscaped.com, and that will get you 20% off and free shipping. Again, it's code WINNERCIRCLE at manscaped.com. Hop into the best deal of the year with Manscaped.
That's right. We love Manscaped. It's one of my favorite products that we have on this channel. And also, not only that, but at this time to giving back to a great cause, like Cody said, we want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring this week's episode. Let's dive back into the episode. Okay, we are back, and so let's dive right into it. Some of you can tell by the title of this episode what we're going to talk about tonight. Cody, I don't know. I know you're not a huge Twitter guy. I know you don't keep up on BB Can too much unless you're out there winning Big Brother. But the news that dropped this year before the season started, for anybody who doesn't know, Big Brother Canada, relatively new. I think they're in season, I don't even know. I think it's like 11 or 12. Don't sue me if I'm wrong. But they came out at the beginning of this year before the season started and said, hey, new update. We're no longer doing the live feeds. And in replacement of that, they're going to do something called digital dailies, where they're basically taking a couple, clips from the live feeds and putting those up online or for people to see on the outside world. But it's obviously selected by Big Brother. So before I weigh in on it, Cody, what are your thoughts on this? Because, I mean, the live feeds is Big Brother. That's why the show is called Big Brother. So what was your initial take when you heard about it?
When I heard about it, I was like, I don't know, let's bring it into the U.S. I'm absolutely sick of, I got to be honest with you, it's not the live feeds that I'm sick of. I'm sick of the trolls that are monitoring the live feeds 24/7, waiting to absolutely crucify people for saying something, for doing something, for acting in a way that people outside that are watching can interpret it to make it seem like something's happening that's really not. I think that the live feeds have turned completely toxic. And so I was actually happy. I think the live feeds are something for me that will stop me from going on Big Brother again, because there's just no filter. There's nothing. Everybody can interpret something the way that they want. They could clip it. They can take it. They can use it to fit a narrative that they want to say. And so I don't like the live feeds. I know that's what the show has made its bread and butter on. It was that there's 24/7 always watching, but we live in a different day and age now. It's not the same day and age that Big Brother started in. It's just a completely sensitive society that we live in. So I'm not a big fan of the live feeds. I also don't watch them. I know you may have a different take because you used to watch the live feeds.
It's how I found the show.
I never watched them. Exactly. I never watched them. I always watched the main show. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the live feeds tell this crazy different story than what production decides to show on the live show. I think there's just little tidbits. It gets you a little bit closer to people that you may like, but you know, who's watching the live feeds for the overall extensive gameplay of somebody? I don't know how many people are doing that, and I don't know that it brings this crazy value. So I think I have no problem with it. I know people were up in arms about it, but
people were definitely up in arms about it. And US was quick to come out and say, hey, listen, live feeds are staying for us, you know, because they want that. US is different. We want that heat. They want the controversy.
Yeah.
They don't let anybody tell you different. They love when there's controversy in the house that's on TMZ and stuff. That no news is bad news, right? That type of thing. Like,
yeah, no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, there you go. They love it. They love it. So I agree with everything you said. As a player, it's nerve-wracking to go in there now and think you could have someone clip something out of context and then, you know, put a little title above it on a tweet, and all of a sudden it's been seen by 80 million people, and they don't even watch the show. All they're seeing is the tweet and what you said, and no context before or after it, and they're judging you just on that. And it can ruin your life. It can ruin everything just by that. Scary. I think everybody out there listening, watching can agree to that. It is scary, and I think most sane people can agree that if they want to make you look bad, they can clip it in a way to make you look bad. And I mean by they, the people, the live feeders, the people watching. That all being the case, there is an argument for both sides. First and foremost, I feel bad for the podcasts and the YouTube channels that do this full time, where like they make a living doing this, because there's no doubt this has hurt the pockets of those channels that, you know, are able to cover the show and make a living off of it. So I feel bad for those channels that do that, because, you know, I don't want to see anybody lose out on something. And I will say 99% of those channels, especially the big ones, they really genuinely love Big Brother.
Like Taryn. You think about Taryn.
That's who I'm thinking about.
He covers the live feeds. That's what he does. It's his bread and butter. And for someone like him, he's like, now what am I supposed to do during this season?
Yeah, and maybe he's doing something. He
still gets on.
Yeah, he still get on, but it's like he was doing daily updates.
And he was great at it, man.
He's great. And he's
absolutely incredible.
And he's still going to get US. But there was something that happened this season, and I know you're not watching, but this is the one there's a lot of arguments you could make, but one thing I will say, so there's this guy, Zach, and I know you don't watch BB Can, so I'll just say, there's this guy, Zach. Full disclosure, I met Zach in Canada, in Montreal, with Emmett. He's good friends with Emmett. And I was with him for the night. I'll tell you, I know a lot of people don't like him, especially on Twitter. I liked him. I thought he was a good dude, charismatic guy, funny, and he definitely lost himself in the house a little bit. He ended up self-evicting, as you know. That's not a good thing to do.
Wait, this season?
Yeah, he just self-evicted. Big drama. I'll give you a little bit of download. This might be good to get your reaction.
Come on.
Okay, yeah, you know what? This is actually good. So I don't know the whole story because I didn't watch the season like verbatim, but essentially there's a guy in the house named Hope, okay? This guy named Hope, and this is according to Zach because I've talked to him since, but essentially this guy Hope gets his luggage brought into the house after the show starts. You know how you get your luggage from your whatever? And in one of his socks is a letter from his girlfriend, right? A letter from the outside world. So he takes that letter, he hides it, and he shows two people in this house, this kid Ty and this guy Zach. He shows them the letter. Now on the episode when I watched it, they just made it seem like he showed the letter and, you know, he was, you know, that gave him a leg up because it gave him motivation to move further and work harder because he had that letter from home, and we all know how big the letter from home is. But here's the thing about it. Talking to Zach, and he's talked about it publicly, he talked about it to me and Emmett as well. He was saying, listen, this kid Hope, because Zach was pretty much running the house. This kid Hope came to him and said, listen, I don't even really want to be here. I want to go home. I want to show you something. He was like dapping them up and showing them the letter, just Zach and Ty. And he was like, I want to show you this because I want you to know what I'm here for. I just want to have that moment. I just want to win that competition. And I just want to have that moment for my girl at home. And then I'll go home. I don't care. And so fast forward a little bit, there's a veto. Zach wins it. And he was like, oh, why didn't you let me win it? I wanted my moment. So fast forward again, Zach and Ty go slow in the next veto. Hope wins it. Hope was on the block before that. So Zach and Ty go to Hope and they're like, hey man, we just did what you asked us to do. You know, what you've been saying, you wanted your moment. We need you to stay up there. And he's like, nah, I'm not staying up there. Not doing it. I'm coming down. And they're like, yo, you showed us this letter to like gain trust with us. You made it seem like you didn't care about being here. Basically, you cheated by having that in the house. And so that's messed up. So they went and told on him to production. And production was, and by the way, production didn't really even know he had the letter. They're like, how long have you known about this or whatever? So clearly they got a skeleton crew working now because they're not doing the live feeds. And Zach is like, he cheated. He shouldn't have had that. And I'll say they oversold it a little bit. And their biggest mistake was not telling on him initially. They basically held on to that information, didn't say nothing. And then when Zach was going to get backdoored, Zach was like, oh, now I'm going to tattletale on him. So it made it look totally disingenuous because he was only doing it because he knew he was about to be the replacement nominee and go home. So production was like, yeah, we're not kicking Hope out of the game for it. Hope, give us the letter back. We're going to give everybody in the house a letter as well now. And Hope, you're not eligible for HOH and you can't vote this week. And Zach was like, that's effed up. He still shouldn't be here. If he's staying, I'm self-evicting. And he self-evicted. So I don't agree with the self-eviction at all. But this does bring up a point that I was trying to make where a lot of the stuff
that would have been caught on the feeds, right?
That would have been caught on the feeds where we at home could have judged what Hope was really doing with that letter.
Or they might have also, like, that should have been told right off the rip. That should have been taken right away.
I think they had a little piece of it in an episode where he like tie up, but they definitely didn't show all of it. So what are your thoughts on that? I know I just gave you. There's so many people yelling at me right now in the comments, like you're missing this part, you're missing that part, but that's the overall.
Listen, let's dial it down. Let's strip everything, all information out. Hope got in with the letter. Hope shared this information with people in the house. Then all of a sudden, one of those people that were in the house decided that they wanted to hold that information to then use it at a point. And then when they didn't get their way, they self-evicted. That's the child throwing a temper tantrum, not getting their way.
And that's what mostly Twitter, that's what Twitter's saying, everything else. So yeah.
Now, granted, that should have been nipped in the bud right away.
How big of an advantage? You're a former two-time player, former winner of All-Stars. How big of an advantage do you see that letter being?
It really depends on the relationship. Like if this guy Hope told me that and he's not somebody that I'm working with, in no way, shape, or form would I ever allow him to win a competition. I had somebody similar on my season that just really wanted to get a win, and it was David on All Stars. And I was like, bro, if you want to get a win, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. I'm not gonna hand you a win unless I'm deciding to throw the competition for my own strategic reasons. It's not because of this story that this guy's trying to. So the two guys, I can't remember their names, Zach and the one other guy, just got absolutely played, and in what world, Derrick, would you allow somebody to win a veto when they were on the block? You would never allow it. So, no. And I know I never would allow it. So it's like, I don't feel bad for Zach in the slightest. And the fact that he self-evicts,
bad move. And I told him, when I talked to him, I said, that was a bad move. You don't realize he's not a huge Big Brother fan. I said, dude, just be prepared. And we only had one conversation, but I was like, just be prepared. Yeah. Because you're going to get it. And, you know, that's a lot of people tried to get on that show for a very long time. And, you know, you don't understand the significance of what you did. They do not take kindly to that.
And I got to be honest, it sounds a little bit like the storyline of it just seems like he threw a little fit because he wasn't getting his way. He was probably going to go home, and now he was trying to use that Hail Mary and hoping that production got involved to help him stay, and they didn't. So, I mean, I
think Hope should have had the letter? No. And do I think it could have influenced him? Yes, absolutely. But he shouldn't have allowed it to, and it was a better way to go about it. And in hindsight, Zach has come out and said, like, I screwed up. I shouldn't have quit.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, he should never have that letter. I can't believe that production put that in the live show.
Well, dude, that's the point, right? Like,
they didn't take it from him.
Well, they didn't even notice it. They honestly did not know he had the letter, I don't think, because when Zach brought it to him, they were like, how long have you known about this? What did it say? Like, on Big Brother US, dude, if I wrote on a napkin, they were like, hey, what would you just write on a napkin? Would you just write? You got to take it out.
You can't. Do you remember on our season 16, Hayden tried to spell stuff with rice?
Rice, yeah, it's over. And that's the point. So I think why Big Brother Canada did this is very simple. They did it because of money. It's very expensive to have those camera crews running 24/7. I think this was a way of cutting down on costs. And I think that behind the walls, they probably have a skeleton crew there. Only a few cameramen at times when it's down
that
hours.
Are catching whatever the thing is that you called it.
And they probably missed this missed the full picture of it because they probably have a skeleton crew. I don't think Big Brother Canada does the ratings that US does. And I know the show went away for a little bit and then came back. So I think it's constantly like on the cusp.
In fluctuation.
Yeah, on the cusp
and money
of getting
isn't
canceled.
Just like, yeah. So the money that the show has, the production, the amount of money that they put into it is just,
they got to cut down costs.
But I got to be honest. The live feeds, I know people love them. I don't think they'll ever get taken away from the US, but I will tell you that everybody that's up in arms about the live feeds, you just got to see, trends. And what have you noticed about the live feeds on Big Brother US? Every year it gets more and more that the feeds get shut down. I see it constantly that people are constantly
like during the night, they're getting turned off. The
feeds are getting turned off. Oh, a conversation's happening, the feeds get cut off. Big Brother US, mark my words, is on their way to cutting out the feeds. You may not think it right now because they already put out their statement, but every season the feeds are shown less and less. And that's because they don't like the publicity that it brings, because it brings a very negative publicity.
So why not just get rid of them?
Because they can't do it that quick. Nobody does anything that quickly. It's a slow play. They want it to be, they don't want it to be abrupt because they don't want to turn viewers away, but they want to slowly, it's like a slow drip to death.
So people stop buying them.
They're dripping it. They're like, oh, the feeds are always off. I don't really care to watch them anymore. I'm just going to watch the live show. You know what? I don't even get to see anything really on the feeds anymore because they constantly shut them off. I'm canceling it. There's only going to be a small group of people where then they can justify it financially. Oh, the feeds just doesn't work anymore. Not enough people are buying the feed, so I'm going to shut it off. This is how these big corporations, these big money people, they deal with it. They do it slow and over time to the point where you get so acclimated to it that it's almost like, oh, well, that's normal. That's how I feel about it. I'm telling you right now, CBS will probably do the same thing, because all I hear about the feeds is that they constantly cut them out when conversations are happening, when stuff is happening. They remove it from the feeds. I mean, last year, case in point, one of the biggest conversations of the season was Michael talking to Monty and Taylor in the upstairs have-not room.
True, and they cut it.
It was not on the feeds. And why was it not on the feeds? You know, it was for a reason. Yeah. It was they wanted access to that conversation first, to splice it however they wanted to cut it, to show whatever they wanted. Now, I thought they did a good job of airing it, which, again, my biggest thing is I trust production to show things that are happening. I don't think they're hiding things to protect people. So cut the feeds out. I'm not a big fan of the feeds. I think the feeds just bring extra drama. Yeah, bro. And I'm telling you right now, CBS is on its way. CBS is on its way. Mark my words.
You heard it here.
In like 5 years, if the feeds are like, oh, we're thinking about it, what do you guys think? I'll be like this. Told you.
Okay, so to round it out, that was kind of, I just thought we'd hop on here, say hello, let you guys know we're still alive. And,
yeah, we're here.
We out here, and obviously Big Brother is starting to ramp up a little bit. Casting's going on right now. There's a lot of rumors. Is it going to be returners? Is it going to be all newbies? We'll dive into it as it gets closer. We're planning on covering it. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be, we do have the live feeds back, so Tiffany will be back as well, and we'll get it cracking. But we just wanted to come on, say hello. Say happy holidays for anybody who's celebrating Easter. A lot going on in the world right now. Yeah, Passover. So everyone just stay safe out there, stay happy, stay healthy. I'll give you the the floor, Cody, to take us out.
I want to almost call this like halfway to the season, right? Like, I feel like the new year comes. That's when like the previous season kind of dials down. Now we're in April.
Yeah.
May, June, end of June, the show is coming back. So we're almost halfway there. I'm really excited. I'm eager to see the cast. I always love diving into the cast with you and doing our early season predictions. And I'm eager to see kind of the route that they decide to go for this season.
We got to redeem ourselves this year, bro.
The thing is, bro, this is season 25.
Yeah. They got to come out swinging.
They definitely are going to, I
$1 million?
can't see them not. No, definitely not.
Nope.
They upped it to 750, and I think they'll stay there for quite a while, but I'm eager to see like, yeah, we ain't gonna see anything close. We ain't gonna sniff a mill.
Yeah.
But I would love to see them bring in like some returners, some newbies.
Some coaches season.
Not all newbies, bro. Coach seasons is one of my favorite seasons.
Will you cover Winner Circle if I go in there to coach real quick?
100%.
Okay. Just checking.
And I will be very biased with Derrick.
A coach's season would be cool. But a coach's season always turns into you playing season. That's what they do to you. They just get you in the door and then they lock the door and they hit the button and then all of a sudden you're playing like.
But that could be a perfect situation for someone like you that would go in and immediately have a target. You get that buffer of 4 weeks, usually is I think what they did, where you can form your relationships. They start cannibalizing each other. You get the buffer, and then all of a sudden now it's like, oh, now I'm in the game.
Yeah,
now when nice. I got my claws in yet.
I told Dan this when we were talking about it. We don't talk as much anymore. He's busy, I'm busy. But I said, dude, coaches, you had it made. You had it made. He lost. He lost his players. He was basically down to Danielle. That was it.
He was done.
And they gave him the option to button. He was like, boop. He was like, yes, because he knew.
Yeah.
He's like, it's time to play. And like a great player does, he went to final two. So he, exactly to what you're saying, Dan's already proven you to be right, where he got to sink his teeth in there after winning. And
he seemed like a wounded animal because his team was getting clipped. And
Dan's
then
funeral.
Flipped the script.
I mean, Dan's funeral.
And then
bro.
he flipped the
script.
Come
on. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We will be back for that. Obviously, everyone just stay safe out there. As always, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Turn your notifications on. If you're listening on audio, leave a review. That'd be really helpful. And for Manscaped, it'll be in the description box below. So if you forget what the link was, you can go down there, check it out. And if you're going to support the product, make sure you use the link because it helps support this channel. As always, we will see you. We don't know when, but we will be back. And if you have your notifications on, you will know as well. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you soon.